Welcome back to AgriTalk, day number 2 of the Farm Progress Show. Starting to warm up here. Good crowd on hand again, and we are in the Syngenta exhibit. Joining us, first of all, leaders from the National Corn Growers Association. We have Pam Johnson from here in Iowa. She's, about 2.5 hours from here at the show site. And Martin Barbary from Illinois. As we talk about Farm Bill Now, you held a press conference yesterday. Again, the National Corn Growers, part of a big coalition of ag groups, really wanting to put some pressure on members of Congress to, when they get back in session next month, let's get this farm bill done now, right, Pam?
That's right. This is, push come to shove time, and we had some momentum starting in the spring, and then we got it through the Senate and got it through the House Ag, and then all of a sudden we hit a brick wall. So we're really coalescing together, 46 groups, and saying, let's get this back on track and get it over the finish line before September 30th.
Now, Gary Niemeyer is handing over the presidency to you of National Corn Growers, so he didn't get it done, so now you're going to have to get this farm bill done.
It's my honor to carry the torch for Gary Niemeyer and the National Corn Growers.
He left you plenty of work to do. What do you want people to do? I know you would like for them to contact their member of Congress and say, we really need to get this done now, and emphasize that this is more than just something that impacts farmers. It really impacts everybody. Yeah,
that's what we're saying. This is good for America. 1 out of 12 jobs is directly tied back to the farm. This is so important for everybody, whether you're a producer or consumer, is that we need a farm bill and we need it now. And that's been our rallying cry going forward.
Martin, certainly from the aspect there are things in the Farm Bill that helps with disaster assistance, like in a year like this, but there's also the need for some certainty for planning. And if you get that 5-year certainty, it certainly helps farmers and working with their lenders and things like that.
Yeah, you hit it exactly right, Mike. As producers go into 2013 following this rather treacherous year we've been through, their lenders want to know the certainty. They want to know the certainty. Landlords, frankly, want to know the certainty. I mean, things are going on. We got a wheat crop that's getting ready to go in the ground that we don't have any idea what the program's going to be for that yet. Plus, there are a lot of things going on with disaster that are in this bill that would help a lot of people that are struggling right now if we could get this bill passed.
Pam, there's talk, of course, there has been throughout, that maybe one option will be a 1-year extension. That really doesn't solve a lot of things and just puts it off till next year when it's going to be even tougher to get a farm bill.
That's what we say, and we say that the 2012 Farm Bill was crafted as a comprehensive bill, and it covers all those piecemeal attempts in a disaster assistance program. So we just want to get the total package passed. And your question about what people can do, I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of uncertainty and helpless now, but everybody can contact their congressperson when they're home over recess and specifically tell them, either meet them at a town hall meeting or call them on the phone or call their district office or write a letter to the office, and let's get the voices heard from out in the countryside that why this is so important to people.
Let me talk about crops in your areas. Pam, in your part of Iowa, what kind of conditions have you had this year? Have you been able to get some rain there?
Well, I would just sum it up with one word, and that's variable. We have corn all the way from not having an ear on the stalk to looking pretty good considering the conditions. Had 1.5 inches of rain in June, 0.7 in July, so you know what that means, and had a little more in August.
Martin, you're from southern Illinois. We know it's been very dry there, and that variability, you're seeing that too.
Yeah, we're really seeing it, Mike. We were in one of the first areas that really started turning into drought conditions earlier in June, and if we have water, our soils that have water holding capacity, there's still a corn crop there. We have had a couple of rains the last 2 or 3 weeks that have kind of rejuvenated our soybean crop, but overall, most of the corn that's not on either irrigated or on good soils is just pretty well zeroed.
Yeah, big difference between dark and light soils, a big drop-off as you go to the lighter soil.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Pam, has harvest started in your area yet?
We think, no, it hasn't. We think we'll probably be running up there. I live in northern Iowa, so maybe a couple weeks. There's some guys cutting silage.
And Mark, one of the things we're hearing, some farmers getting out there early because they're concerned about stock quality and afraid it's going to go down in a storm.
Yeah, there's a large concern about stalk quality. We're hearing of ear drop because the shank's really not very strong. It's a tough situation. You don't know whether to go and spend money on propane with a very small crop, but I think a lot of people are going. We're actually not going on our farm. A lot of people in our area have been going. In fact, we had some guys that did some corn in late July and planted beans back on that ground. So, you know, farmers we're trying to do everything we can to raise as good a crop as we can.
And we could talk about RFS and a lot of other issues. We'll do that another time. But right now, Farm Bill Now. Pam, you urge folks to talk to their members of Congress.
I sure do. We're going to have a rally out in Washington, D.C. on September 12th. And before we get to that point, we really want to have everybody get that last push, get it done this week. The drought brings us to a crisis, and it's very visible. So let's get it done.
All right, leadership of the National Corn Growers Association, Pam Johnson from Iowa and Martin Barbary from Illinois. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We'll start talking with the folks from Syngenta here in their booth at the Farm Progress Show, day number 2. Stay with us from Boone, Iowa. This is AgriTalk.